Picture this. A friend comes up to you in a total panic about their finances. They've split their savings into 3 different accounts, right? Each one earns a different interest rate. They know exactly how much total interest they earned this year, but they've completely lost track of how much money is actually in each individual account. Trying to unravel this in your head? It feels like an absolutely impossible mental puzzle.
Let's get specific. Ava invests $10,000 across 3 accounts. They earn 5%, 8%, and 9% interest. At the end of the year, boom, she makes exactly $770 in interest. Oh, and she remembers one weird detail. The amount she put into the 9% account was exactly twice the amount she put into the 5% account. So how much is in each account? Seriously, if you tried to juggle all those variables, percentages, and constraints in your head right now, it would be absolute chaos.
But what if you didn't have to juggle it at all? By the end of this explainer, you're going to understand a really powerful mathematical concept, the matrix behind it, and exactly how to apply it step by step. We're going to take this chaotic word problem and turn it into a simple, highly organized grid. You will literally never be intimidated by a massive system of equations again. Okay, let's dive right in. Look at what we traditionally deal with. Messy algebraic equations. You've got x's, y's, z's, plus signs, minus signs, equal signs, just scattered everywhere. It is visually overwhelming. But now, look at the augmented matrix. Think of this as our real-life spreadsheet analogy. We strip away all the messy letters and equal signs. All we're left with are the raw coefficients, just the actual numbers lined up in these really neat columns for x, y, and z. We use a vertical line to show where the equal sign used to be and pop our constants on the far right. That's it. We just focus on the data. Now, our ultimate end goal here is to achieve what mathematicians call row-echelon form. Look at the visual pattern. Starting from the upper left corner all the way down to the lower right corner, you want this beautiful, clean diagonal line of ones. And in every single position strictly below that diagonal, you want zeros. If you can manipulate your grid to look like this, well, your messy problem is essentially solved.
So, the million-dollar question, how do we actually get those ones and zeros? We use something called Gaussian elimination, named after the prolific mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss. Honestly, think of Gaussian elimination like a board game, where you only have 3 legal moves. We call these row operations. First, you can interchange, or swap, any 2 rows. Second, you can multiply an entire row by a constant number. And third, you can add the product of one row to another. That is the whole shebang. Those are the only tools you need to win.
Okay, let's make this a whole lot easier with a simple example. Before we tackle Ava's intense 3-account investment problem, let's look at a smaller, basic 2-variable problem just to build some confidence and see these 3 legal moves in action. Imagine we're looking at the equations 2x plus 3y equals 6 and x minus y equals a half. Let's convert that to a matrix. We have a 2 and a 3 in the top row and a 1 and -1 in the bottom row. Now, remember our main goal? We desperately want a 1 in that top left corner. Instead of doing some complicated division to force that 2 to become a 1, look at the second row. It already starts with a 1. So let's just use our first legal move. We simply swap row 1 and row 2. Instantly, we have our leading 1 right where we need it. Now wait, this is a really important moment. Watch how this next move works because it is the absolute heart of Gaussian elimination. We've got our 1 in the top left, but right below it is a 2. We need that 2 to become a 0. So we multiply the entire top row by -2 and then add it to the bottom row. Think about it. -2 times 1 is -2, plus the 2 in the bottom row equals 0. By using the top row, we effectively knocked out the number directly below it. We've created our 0. Just a little more simple division on that bottom row, and we'd hit our perfect row-echelon form.
Now, you might be wondering, like a lot of people do when they see this for the first time, wait a minute, can any system of linear equations be solved by Gaussian elimination? Like, does this actually scale up? And the answer is absolutely yes. A system of linear equations of literally any size, whether you're talking about 2 variables or 20 variables, can be solved using this exact same structured grid method.
So, now that we understand the basic mechanics of sliding ones down the diagonal and forcing zeros underneath, let's connect this back to real life and finally solve our opening puzzle. Let's cleanly translate Ava's complex financial constraints into an augmented matrix. Our first row represents her total investment. X plus Y plus Z equals 10,000. So our matrix row is 1, 1, 1, and 10,000. The second row represents those interest rates, 0.05, 0.08, 0.09, equaling the total interest of 770. And the third row represents that very specific condition where the 9% account is twice the 5% account. That gives us 2, 0, -1, and 0. Quick note here. It is absolutely critical that your variables line up perfectly in their columns. If a variable is missing, you must put a 0, just like we did in that bottom row for y.
Now, if we apply those 3 legal mathematical moves we talked about, multiplying rows to cancel out values below, we eventually transform that messy, decimal-filled matrix into this beautiful row-echelon form. Just look at the visual structure. We've got our clean diagonal of 1s from the top left to the bottom right, and tucked right beneath that diagonal, a perfect triangle of 0s.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why we go through all this effort. Look at the very bottom row of our newly solved matrix. Because we knocked out the x and y columns with 0s, that bottom row now simply reads 1z equals 6,000. We instantly know z is 6,000. From there, we do something called back substitution. We take that 6,000, move up to the second row, which gives us an equation for y and z, plug it in, and boom, y equals 1,000. Then we move up to the top row, plug in y and z, and find out x equals 3,000. We literally just solve it from the bottom up.
And just like that, our seemingly impossible mental puzzle is totally solved. Ava invested $3,000 into the 5% account, $1,000 into the 8% account, and $6,000 into the 9% account. By organizing all that chaotic information into a structured matrix and applying a few consistent rules, we found the exact dollar amounts. No sweat. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick retention check on some common traps. Because, well, things in math don't always tie up this neatly. Sometimes, while doing your row operations, you might end up with a bottom row of all zeros, but a random number on the other side of the line, like 0 equals 4. That is obviously an impossible statement. If that happens, it means the system is inconsistent, and it actually has no solution at all. On the flip side, if the entire bottom row zeroes out completely, giving you 0 equals 0, that means you've got a dependent system with an infinite number of possible solutions. So watch out for those.
Now, I want to share a really practical, real-world tip with you. If you're taking a test or maybe working in finance and you really don't want to do all that manual fraction multiplication by hand, grab a graphing calculator. You simply save your augmented matrix as a variable, let's say matrix A. Then you use a built-in function called ref, which stands for row-echelon form. Hit enter, and the calculator instantly does all the Gaussian elimination for you in a fraction of a second, leaving you to just do that final, easy back substitution, a real game changer.
All right, let's quickly summarize the key takeaways here. To solve any chaotic system of linear equations, step 1, extract your coefficients into an augmented matrix. Step 2, use your 3 legal row operations, swapping, multiplying, and adding. Step 3, relentlessly pursue row-echelon form to get that nice diagonal of 1s and triangle of 0s. And finally, step 4, back substitute from the bottom up to get your final answers. Gaussian elimination is undeniably a beautiful and incredibly powerful method for organizing and solving complex data. I mean, it completely transformed how mathematicians worked for the last 2 centuries. But let's be real, it does require a lot of steps and some really careful fraction math. So what if I told you there was an even faster way to solve these exact same problems without needing row operations at all, using just straightforward multiplication and subtraction? Well, that is exactly what we're going to dive into in our next explainer on Cramer's rule. You absolutely won't want to miss it.